Hello and welcome, dear friends of Zhineng Qigong. Today we are excited to share something very special with you. A fully dubbed English version of a rare Chinese documentary about the legendary Huaxia Zhineng Qigong Centre, also known as the world's first medicine-free hospital. It has treated more than 400,000 patients, often where Western medicine had no cure. But before we dive in, we'd like to set the scene. This documentary was produced in the context of China in the 1990s, a time with its own historical, political, and cultural background. You will notice references to communism throughout the film. These are part of that era's reality and should be understood in that historical context. The team of the Zhineng Qigong Students Hub has restored and translated this work to the best of our ability with great care and love for accuracy. Still, it's possible that a few mistakes remain. We appreciate your understanding. One thing to notice is that the word Zhineng is often translated as intelligence, as literally, Zhineng means intelligence and wisdom. Producing this video has been a long-time dream of ours, and we're thrilled to finally bring it to you. Alongside the English version, we have also released Spanish and German editions. You'll find the links in the caption below. More languages are on the way, and we will update the captions as they become available. If you would like to learn more about the Huaxia Center, we invite you to explore additional resources linked in the caption, including related videos and materials to deepen your understanding. You too can take action to make the teachings of Grandmaster Professor Dr. Pang Ming accessible to people around the world. Simply give this video a like and leave a comment. This encourages YouTube to show it to a wider audience. And there is more to come. We're already working on releasing more original videos, including precious lectures of Professor Dr. Pang Ming, the founder of Zhineng Qigong, so please subscribe to this channel if you are interested to see them.
Today, we are starting the very first formal lesson for the students in the rehabilitation department. Today's topic is a brief introduction to Zhineng Qigong.
So, if you choose to get notified when we release new lectures, simply leave your name and email. You will find the link in the caption below the video. Now, sit back, open your heart and mind, and enjoy this rare glimpse into the history of the Huaxia Zhineng Qigong Centre. This project was possible thanks to the generous support of Zhineng Qigong teachers and Hunyuan Qi therapists, Master Yuantong Liu Elizabeth Estrada, Britta Stalling, Vabke Bowman, and Eugenio Giusti.
At the foot of the Jian Mountains, northwest of the well-known tourist destination Qinggangdou City, lies a remarkable sanctuary that many consider to be more than just a school and more than just a hospital, a place of true healing and transformation. This is the Huaxia Zhineng Qigong Centre, a holistic institution that unites teaching, rehabilitation, and scientific research into a harmonious whole. Its founder is the renowned Qigong scholar, Associate Professor Pang Ming. In 1979, inspired by the spirit of the third plenary session of the 11th Central Committee, teacher Pang Ming responded to the needs of the time by delving deeply into the strict traditions of Qigong, researching them, and practicing them repeatedly. In the early 1980s, he developed and created Zhineng Qigong, a practice intended to serve socialism and benefit the general public. In November 1988, teacher Pang Ming traveled by himself to Shiping, started from scratch, and founded the Shiping Zhineng Qigong Training Institute. At that time, society neither understood nor recognized Qigong, and there were many prejudices and misunderstandings. In its early days, Zhineng Qigong withstood pressure and interference from many sectors of society. It also began to address problems within the Qigong community itself, such as sectarianism, clique formation, feudalism, superstition, as well as tendencies to oversimplify, vulgarize, mystify Qigong, or treat it merely as a commodity. The focus shifted from large-scale Qigong activities for disease prevention and fitness to community-based scientific research on Qigong, which concentrated on various practical applications. The Zhineng Qigong Training Institute developed into the Huaxia Zhineng Qigong Centre, which integrated teaching, rehabilitation, and scientific research into a holistic unit. Zhineng Qigong has always upheld the leadership of the party and followed the correct path, passing the test of party policies, scientific scrutiny, and the trust of the people. Today, exactly 10 years have passed. These 10 years have been a decade in which teacher Pang led the Zhineng practitioners, took advantage of the wave of reform and opening up, overcame obstacles, and pioneered with dedication. It was a remarkable decade of tireless and dedicated progress, courage for innovation, and scientific advancement of Zhineng Qigong, which reached new heights and achieved a wealth of rich results. It was also 10 years of unwavering loyalty to the party, of enduring hardships and burdens, as well as making significant contributions to the cause of socialist modernization and to health, and to the well-being of the people. Through 10 years full of trials and challenges, the scientifically developed and advanced exercise series became widely disseminated. A completely new scientific theory of Qigong was established, transforming traditional Qigong into the science of Qigong. Zhineng Qigong breaks through the limitations of traditional Qigong from the era of small-scale peasant production, and emerges as a new form of Qigong that was developed in the socialist era. Guided by Marxist philosophy, it is a new Qigong that rejects superstition and advocates science. Zhineng Qigong is committed to serving the cause of socialist modernization and the well-being of the people. It does not pursue the illusory goal of becoming immortal or attaining Buddhahood. Instead, it emphasizes practices that benefit people's physical and mental health, as well as the nation's prosperity and the people's livelihood. It is a form of Qigong that integrates both internal and external Qi cultivation, and it is taught through the method of creating a strong collective energy field. This makes it an extremely effective practice that is easily accessible to the public. Over the past 10 years, it has become widespread in society and has developed the three-step methods. Pang Qiyuanding, Xinqing Chengchuang, and Wu Yuanchuang have been popularized. In addition, practitioners have been trained in the San Xinbing, Zhangchuang, Shujing, Taoyin method, and the 8 methods of Qi cultivation. With the exception of Tibet, Qinghai, Ningxia, and Fujian, this has taken place in 26 provinces, cities, and autonomous regions. Zhineng Qigong organizations have been established under the leadership of local party and government authorities. Zhineng Qigong organizations have also been established in Hong Kong and Taiwan. There are more than 3.87 million people who practice regularly. Zhineng Qigong has already crossed the borders of China and reached the entire world. It has been introduced and spread in countries such as the United States, Japan, and several Southeast Asian nations. The creation of the collective energy field is one of Master Pang Ming's great innovations. Zhineng Qigong uses the method of the collective energy field for teaching, healing, and scientific research.
It integrates transmission through the heart, verbal instructions, and practical demonstrations. Qigong teachers merge their own qi with the original qi of nature and the collective qi through focused intention of the people and the environment in space, thus creating a unified field of original energy. This field is extremely beneficial for practice, healing, and scientific research. It fundamentally transforms the traditional, closed one-to-one transmission between master and student in Qigong, and makes it possible to teach and heal thousands or even tens of thousands at the same time. The creation of a collective energy field meets our current needs, harnesses the power of the community, and has now become a practice adopted by many schools.
Under the guidance of dialectical and historical materialism, teacher Pang Ming has harmoniously integrated the rational elements of traditional Qigong theories, including the Taoist concept of primordial Qi, the Buddhist theory of consciousness, the medical theories of Qi transformation and meridians, as well as the Confucian principles of ethics. By integrating modern scientific achievements, he established the Hunyuan holistic theory, whose principles are based on Hunyuan Qi, and which is characterized by the distinction between yin and yang as well as the differentiation of the 5 elements.
Hunyuan Qi permeates the entire universe, flows through all levels of matter, and can serve both as a driving force and as raw material for the transformation and movement of various substances. It is an even more subtle and refined substance than sound, light, electricity, magnetism, or gravity. A completely new and unique form of matter that cannot yet be detected by any current scientific instruments. Consciousness is the activity and process of the highest level of Hunyuan Qi. Practicing Zhineng Qigong means actively and purposefully directing your consciousness inward, gradually developing the ability to perceive, master, mobilize, and utilize Hunyuan Qi. This practice allows you to gather it so that it forms substance, and to disperse it so that it becomes Qi. Since the Hunyuan Qi of the human body encompasses all the essential qualities of life, when this Qi is abundant, all bodily functions are strengthened and a wide variety of illnesses can be regulated and treated. And the goals of holistic well-being, disease prevention and treatment, as well as the development of intelligence, can be achieved. This is the theoretical basis for why Zhineng Qigong does not use dialectical application or dialectical treatment.
Teacher Pang's Qigong teachings have been compiled into a series of 17 textbooks and Qigong monographs, totaling over 4 million words, and published. These include works such as Qigong Exploration Compendium, Zhineng Qigong, the Scientific Theoretical Foundation of Zhineng Qigong, the Hunyuan Holistic Theory, and Zhineng Qigong, Science and Technology. Extraordinary Intelligences. These publications have established a solid theoretical foundation for the development of traditional Qigong and for the scientific advancement of Zhineng Qigong.
The theories and practices of Zhineng Qigong have gained wide recognition in all sectors of society, and have attracted the attention of relevant leaders. Zhineng Qigong stood out among thousands of other Qigong methods and was the first to be included in the compendium of Chinese sports and fitness methods. This made it the very first Qigong practice to be recognized by both the leading group for the evaluation of fitness Qigong of the State Sports Administration, as well as by experts.
10 years full of trials and challenges. Through practice, more and more people have realized that Qigong not only strengthens the body and promotes well-being, but also addresses a variety of complex and serious illnesses. It can lead to healing, resulting in numerous medical miracles. This has provided valuable experience and laid the foundation for researching a community-based medical model of Zhineng Qigong.
With the progress of society and scientific advancement, a wide variety of cutting-edge medical devices have emerged. Diagnostic instruments and pharmaceutical materials have emerged, causing medical expenses to multiply many times over, even by 100-fold. The healthcare systems of our country, and even those of developed nations worldwide, are facing a severe crisis. Society is calling for, and people are longing for, a medical model that is affordable, as painless as possible, and highly effective. The community-based medical model of Qigong has emerged in response to this need, bringing hope and well-being to humanity by effectively eliminating diseases.
In the past 10 years, the Qigong Rehabilitation Center has recorded more than 200,000 patients from all over the country. Most of these patients were difficult chronic cases who had already tried various medical treatments in hospitals and spent significant amounts of money. However, they experienced hardly any improvement. As they saw no other way out and had lost hope of being cured, they entrusted their last glimmer of hope for recovery to the Qigong Rehabilitation Centre.
As soon as many patients arrive at the Qigong Rehabilitation Center, the confusion, fear, and disappointment they felt in hospitals immediately begin to dissipate and fade away. The teachers greet them with warm, gentle smiles as if they are welcoming party members. And the very first words they hear are, "It's good that you're here." Everywhere you see harmonious, joyful smiles and the warmest blessings. Illnesses disappear, dissolve, are healed, and become completely cured.
At 5:30 in the morning, accompanied by the resounding wake-up call and the melody of "The East is Red," the students quickly get up, wash themselves, grab their folding stools, and, with the older ones helping and looking after the younger ones, head to their respective practice areas. By 5:45, the entire center is filled with the sounds of pushing, pulling, opening, and closing. This is how a new day begins at the center.
The implementation of group-based therapeutic education is a distinctive feature of Zhineng Qigong healing. This includes thoroughly explaining the unique characteristics and effectiveness of Zhineng Qigong in treating various illnesses, helping students to let go of mental burdens, and guiding them to trust that Zhineng Qigong can heal their own ailments. There is also an encouraging therapeutic approach that inspires students to gather their energy, practice diligently and consistently, mobilize their inner initiative, and overcome illnesses. Additionally, there is a transformative therapeutic approach that encourages each student to create a beautiful environment and cultivate a joyful mindset, always thinking, speaking, and acting positively, to promote the rapid recovery of body and mind. The Rehabilitation Center makes full use of the enthusiasm of party members, youth league members, class representatives, and family members, and forms a therapeutic network based on thorough political and ideological work. In this way, a collective energy field is created that supports the healing and well-being of all members.
Group practice and teaching Qigong are the main methods for healing through Qigong. By mastering techniques such as holding and pouring down Qi, the three centers standing meditation, walking meditation, as well as smaller exercises like drawing Qi, expanding Qi, and wall squatting, one acquires the most fundamental means of self-empowerment in overcoming illness. Through diligent and consistent practice, you can directly experience the benefits, such as the outward flow of inner Qi, the absorption of external Qi inward, the stretching and strengthening of tendons and bones, the regulation of Qi flow, and the expulsion of illness. With regular and dedicated practice, you can gradually raise your level of Qigong and achieve a state of emptiness, clarity, purity, and openness. In this Qigong state, you will become more receptive to the guidance and information from the teacher. If you believe that you can heal, you will heal. If you believe that you can return to normal, you will achieve complete recovery.
Organizing collective group research activities is a central and important method for effectively using Zhineng Qigong for healing. From the very moment each individual student comes into contact with Zhineng Qigong, they are encouraged to conduct their own personal experiments, such as carefully testing the lengthening and shortening of their fingers, or feeling the flow of Qi between their hands through the opening and closing movements. Everyone is encouraged to experiment for themselves. You can reconnect sliced cucumbers, fruits, or vegetables. You can make garlic cloves planted at the same time grow a bit faster and stronger, while the control group grows more slowly and weakly. Say, you can make flowers and plants bloom earlier and more abundantly, or, on the contrary, prevent them from blooming so that they become weak or wither. You can even soften a stainless steel spoon and twist it into a spiral. The truly amazing results of these practical experiments inspire confidence and a strong determination to overcome illnesses. Creating a beautiful environment and fostering a harmonious, joyful atmosphere so that every student lives happily at every moment is one of the wonderful methods of Zhineng Qigong. The Rehabilitation Center encourages every student to become strong and to joyfully focus on three things: eat well, sleep well, and practice Qigong well. Eating means enjoying meals that have been infused with positive energy by the teachers. The food is hot, fragrant, and full of rich Hunyuan Qi. Good food and drink help drive away all illnesses.
Sleeping means that the dormitories are bright and clean. The beds are tidy and hygienic, creating a fresh and invigorating environment for everyone. On doors, windows, and above the beds, everywhere you look, you see joyful messages like "I am healed," "recovered," and "smile," all filled with positive affirmations. Truly, when we leave the dormitory to practice diligently, we eliminate all illnesses. And when we return, we feel connected with the Hunyuan spirit, filled with joy and lightness.
On the practice grounds, everything we hear, see, and even say is filled with the most uplifting messages that constantly encourage us.
Every group activity begins with a moment of joy and laughter. Here, there are no differences in status, no differences in profession, no regional boundaries, and no cultural barriers. Even the concepts of age and gender fade away, creating a vibrant field full of joy and laughter, where smiles dissolve all discomfort.
The energy in the lower limbs is abundant, flows smoothly, and enhances openness and clarity. The feet are full of vitality.
Regulating the group field energy is a unique Qigong technique for healing various illnesses. Pain and discomfort gradually dissolve and fade away. Teachers use spoken language and silent intention to mobilize the purest, most concentrated Hunyuan Qi from the universe, as well as Hunyuan Qi from people, objects, and the environment. They merge these energies into a harmonious, joyful field, a powerful energy field that dissolves ailments, and direct this Hunyuan Qi specifically to the areas where the students need it most. When the students immerse themselves in such a field and succeed in reaching a state of relaxation, calm, naturalness, and a meditative Qigong state, in which the hands feel both present and absent at the same time, and the mind is gently relaxed, they can resonate with the teacher's intention. This alignment makes it possible for intention to guide the flow of Qi, and as the Qi flows, illnesses are miraculously resolved.
In healing practice, teachers and supporting students have also developed a variety of dynamic and popular group energy methods such as the Great Energy Roof, the Health Express, the Small Hunyuan Qi Circle, the Swinging Pendulum, as well as Hunyuan Tunnels and Hunyuan Spiritual Formations. These are formed by hundreds or even thousands of people. These innovative approaches to group energy work and Qi regulation bring joy and effectiveness to the healing process. During these activities, participants are able to fully relax, allowing their illnesses to subside, improve, or even be completely healed.
Despite his busy schedule, Teacher Pang takes the time to shake hands with every participant and take photos. He offers each and every person his most sincere and heartfelt blessings, along with his very best intentions. This is truly the most inspiring and deeply heartfelt moment. Teacher Pang's warm handshake leaves every participant with the most positive energy and unforgettable cherished memories.
From the 4th to the 6th of December 1979, the Qigong branch of the Zhineng Qigong Science Research Association held the first Zhineng Qigong Anti-Cancer Star Conference at the Rehabilitation Center. A total of 132 former patients participated, all of whom had practiced Qigong and remained cancer-free for more than 3 years. The oldest was 83 years old, and the youngest was just 12.
In October 1992, Liu Jingqing from Beidiao village, Shimianji, Huning County, experienced unbearable pain in his liver. After examinations at the First People's Hospital of Xinhuangdao City and a subsequent diagnosis at the PLA 281 hospital, he was diagnosed with liver cancer, with a tumor measuring 14 by 30 by 11 centimeters. He then underwent chemotherapy at the Tianjin Cancer Hospital, followed by a right hepatic lobectomy. 1 month after the operation, an ultrasound examination revealed that a new cancerous tumor measuring 2.7 by 2.3 centimeters had appeared at the remaining edge of the liver. The patient's family and the patient himself refused to continue treatment at the hospital. On the 1st of April of the same year, they came to the rehabilitation department to receive intelligent Qigong therapy. On the 26th of April, just 26 days later, an ultrasound examination at the 408th Naval Hospital showed no abnormalities in the liver. Liu Xingqing's liver cancer was cured. Meanwhile, 6 years have passed without any recurrence. He is healthy, achieves excellent academic results, and has already been recognized twice as an outstanding student.
Xu Zhongxun, former Deputy Party Secretary of Capital Normal University and renowned educator, said,
On October 4th, I was diagnosed with a malignant lymphoma at a hospital in Beijing. At that time, the biopsy classified it as what is known as a diffuse non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Among all lymphomas, this is considered the most severe form, and it was already at stage 2. The doctors developed a treatment plan for me, but after completing the first round, my body completely collapsed. I could no longer speak, eat, or walk. Since there was nothing more they could do for me, they transferred me to a hospital for traditional Chinese medicine. After a consultation, what did they say to me? They told me quite frankly that if I left the hospital through the back door, my time would be short. Since neither Western nor Chinese medicine could help me, I began my journey to fight cancer with Qigong. I watched Master Pang's Qigong demonstration and practiced meditation at the same time. But the more I practiced, the more I noticed a slight improvement. And little by little, I began to feel a bit more confident. In this spirit, I wrote a few lines back then. My heart is like the morning sun, my body is strong as a diamond. Righteousness defeats evil, so why should I be afraid of cancer? The upright energy of good people can grant me health as pure as the clouds, as steadfast as the pine tree. Throughout all the years of arduous struggle, I have delved deeply into Professor Pang's theories, and I have diligently practiced the exercises. And then a miracle truly happened to me. In the past 7 or 8 years I have undergone checkups, and there has been no sign whatsoever of the cancer returning. My health is truly remarkable now. Good, isn't it? Now not only can I climb mountains, but I also continue to practice the exercises. In addition, I have contributed a lot to society and to others. That's how things are now.
At the official opening of the 94th session at the Rehabilitation Center, Cheng Qinyin, who is the wife of Ji Shiping, the Deputy Secretary of the Party Committee of Hefei City, delivered a report. Deputy Secretary Ji Shiping was saved in April of the year 1999. Ji Shiping suddenly became seriously ill and lost consciousness. The initial treatment at the hospital was ineffective. Therefore, he was transferred to a renowned hospital in Shanghai. A team of distinguished experts was assembled and diagnosed him with viral meningitis. After more than 100 days of emergency treatment and expenses exceeding 300,000 yuan, the conclusion was that the chances of improvement were extremely slim. Even if he were to recover, he would remain in a vegetative state. During the emergency treatment, the family was notified 4 times that his condition was critical. In this situation, a Zhineng Qigong teacher used the method of field energy regulation to help Ji Shiping regain full consciousness, and on August 12th, he was admitted to the Zhineng Qigong Rehabilitation Centre for treatment. Through practicing and regulating energy at the center, his mind became clear. His movements returned to normal, and his illness was completely cured. At a conference with more than 3,000 participants, Deputy Secretary Xi Ping spoke with great emotion.
After I recovered from my illness, it caused quite a stir throughout the entire province. When our provincial party secretary received some important foreign guests, he introduced me to them and said, Xi Ping was healed through the practice of Qigong. When Comrade Li Runfan, member of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China and chairman of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, visited Anhui, our provincial party secretary reported to him. He also told Chairman Li, saying Xi Ping was healed through Qigong.
Liao Yuan, 6 years old. He suffered from chromosomal abnormalities, intellectual disability, could not close his mouth, and drooled constantly. He had difficulty walking and a speech disorder. There were no cases, either domestically or abroad, where this disease had been cured. His grandmother is an intelligence worker, and every year she takes little Liao Yuan to the rehabilitation center for 2 months of treatment. This year, something wonderful happened. He can now recognize people, speak, walk safely, enjoys playing games, and has even learned to do exercises. Take a close look. Does he still really seem like a child with a severe intellectual disability to you? Especially now, after you have observed him more closely and seen his true potential come to light. According to a survey conducted by the Office for Retired Cadres of Shangtan, the Health Bureau, and a public medical institution, in Hunan, the medical expenses among 500 retired cadres before practicing Qigong amounted to a total of approximately 768,000 yuan. However, after practicing, the expenses dropped to just 127,000 yuan, which is a savings of approximately 83% overall. A decade of medical practice has convincingly demonstrated that learning and practicing Zhineng Qigong is indeed an effective, rapid, high-quality, and cost-efficient method of healing. Those who have benefited unanimously praise it. Learning and practicing Zhineng Qigong spares us suffering and relieves the burden on families. It saves on medical expenses, cures illnesses, strengthens body and mind, and brings well-being to the community. A decade of dedicated Qigong medical practice has clearly demonstrated to society that the Qigong Rehabilitation Center, as well as Qigong practice sites located throughout the country, consistently employ methods such as practicing and teaching Qigong within a strong and supportive energy field, regulating Qi within this field, and using the field for healing to support recovery and transformation. Patients must develop a strong and unwavering belief in Zhineng Qigong and pursue better health through a consistently positive attitude, the power of the energy field, dedicated and regular practice, ongoing scientific research, and mindful application in daily life. Through 10 years filled with trials and perseverance, we have left shining traces on the rocky path to the summit of human science, much like climbing Mount Everest. Zhineng Qigong is a science that uses extraordinary consciousness to reinterpret and transform the world, a cutting-edge, complex field of knowledge. This requires everyone involved in the practice and study of Zhineng Qigong to adopt a scientific attitude, methods, and awareness from the very beginning. This includes the cycle of practice, understanding, further practice, and deeper understanding.
We are committed to ensuring that everyone participates in scientific experiments. Because across the country, scientific experiments are spontaneously and consciously being conducted at the grassroots level. There are experiments aimed at increasing the yield of wheat, rice, millet, and cotton. Experiments to get apple and pear trees to bear more and higher quality fruit, as well as attempts to accelerate pig fattening, increase egg production in chickens, and boost milk yield in dairy cows. Tens of thousands of grassroots scientific research activities have deepened people's understanding and awareness of the objective existence of Hunyuan Qi.
With great foresight, teacher Pang Ming began offering free advanced training courses for experts and professors in June of the same year. To date, 49 courses have been held, training more than 3,200 experts and professors from over 100 disciplines. These highly educated individuals, now empowered, have become the main force and pioneers in the scientific work of Zhineng Qigong. Since its establishment, the Zhineng Qigong Centre has held 6 academic exchange conferences and received a total of 4,224 scientific research papers. The experts and professors personally lead and participate in scientific experiments on Zhineng Qigong, thereby strengthening the scientific rigor, credibility, and authority of the research work.
The applied research in clinical medicine is quite diverse, covers a very wide range, includes numerous case studies, and clearly demonstrates significant statistical validity. For example, in the most recent therapeutic results with Zhineng Qigong, 47,800 participants were treated, with the studies documenting over 1,000 cases across 11 diseases and more than 100 cases involving 42 different types of illnesses.
For difficult diseases in modern medicine such as malignant tumors, diabetes, coronary heart disease, and hypertension, there are clinical efficacy observations and experimental basic research.
Associate Professor Huang Zhang and others from the Zhineng Academy of the People's Community studied the effect of external qi from Zhineng Qigong on tumor microcirculation in living organisms.
Associate Professor Li Mei, Master Jung, and other researchers diligently used flow cytometry to thoroughly study the profound effects of Zhineng Qigong on the DNA synthesis and the cell cycle of human liver cancer cells.
Professor Yan Yizhao and colleagues from Zhineng Academy of the People's Community studied effects of healing field of Zhineng Qigong on adhesion of leukocytes to endothelial cells.
Professor Bei Wen, formerly of the West China University for Medical Community, and Associate Professor Zhang Pinghua studied the effects of Zhineng Qigong on human red blood cells and cellular immune function in the autologous circulation.
Rong Tongji and 5 colleagues from the Institute of Aerospace Medical Technology studied the effects of Qigong training on improving adaptation to medium and long-term simulated weightlessness. Their results showed a statistically significant improvement after Qigong training and further demonstrated that Zhineng Qigong is superior to conventional training and other Qigong methods.
A wealth of scientific papers by experts and professors, ranging from studies on biomacromolecules and cells to experiments on animal organisms and various levels of the human body, have shown that the external qi of Zhineng Qigong has positive effects on intracellular DNA genetic material as well as on brain function, cardiopulmonary function, blood, the microcirculation system, the endocrine system, and the immune system. Significant effects have also been clearly demonstrated in successfully killing bacteria, effectively reducing both inflammation and pain, further strengthening the body's immunity against various toxins, actively combating the development of cancer.
Year after year, a total of 1,723 agricultural science research papers have been submitted, covering crops, livestock, edible mushrooms, aquaculture, and more. These studies span 20 provinces, cities, and autonomous regions. Some experiments have been conducted continuously for up to 6 years. Examples include the yield improvement experiments with 10,000 liu corn and 150,000 liu wheat in Anyang, Henan, as well as the 88,000 liu wheat experiment by the Ping Agricultural Institute.
The yield increase generally ranges between 10 and 20%. The freshwater aquaculture farm in Funing County, Hebei, collaborated with Intelligent Qigong Centre to apply energy to their tilapia production and achieved an excellent harvest with a 12% increase in yield. Cao Qining, a senior agronomist and nationally recognized expert, explained that the intelligent external energy technology increases crop yields, requires only minimal investment, and brings significant benefits. It is simple and easy to implement, and is excellent for large-scale application. In the areas of plant growth, development, biological effects, genetic breeding, and the mechanisms behind yield improvement, Li Qining, recipient of the National Invention Award for Science and Technology as well as the National Special Award for Teaching Achievements and also a wheat breeding expert at Shanghai Agricultural University, and his team conducted experiments on the effects of external energy on photosynthesis. Maveshi Liu Pingwang, Lang Yilan, and other party members of the Intelligent Qigong team at Guangjin Agricultural University have also conducted preliminary studies on experiments involving the transformation of rice. Guangjin Rong from West Zhineng Medical University has conducted experiments over several years on the effects of intelligent external energy on rice yield and nutrient content, consistently observing the positive effects and benefits of energy treatment in all cases.
Not only did the rice yield increase, but the levels of protein, fat, calcium, iron, riboflavin, and other nutrients were also significantly enhanced. In addition, it contained beneficial components such as ascorbic acid, which are normally not found in ordinary rice. In the industrial sector, more than 300 scientific research studies have shown that the external energy of Zhineng Qigong can alter the internal structure and function of inanimate materials.
Professor Li Songhang and others at Harbin Engineering University conducted experimental research on the effects of intelligent Qigong energy on increasing the strength and hardness of low-alloy steel. Their results showed that the yield strength increased by 5.18% to 11.1%. The tensile strength increased by 7.06% to 10.6%, and the elongation improved by 13.3% to 17.2%. Thus, the mechanical properties of low-alloy steel were improved. Tests conducted by the Institute for Zhineng Qigong Research on the effect of external Qigong energy on the bending of steel showed that, under a load of 150 grams, the Qigong energy increased the deflection by 40 micrometers. At the North Zhineng Pharmaceutical Factory, Kai Zhongping and his team used external Qigong energy in production and mutation processes. They successfully cultivated new high-yield strains number 04 and number 187.
In the field of education, scientific research experiments conducted on dozens of students, from kindergarten to university, including students with hearing impairments, have achieved comprehensive development in moral, intellectual, physical, and aesthetic aspects. Shanghai New Century Middle School, a private school, had a 9th grade class made up of students who had failed the entrance exams for the top middle schools. Through consistent practice of intelligent Qigong, their academic performance steadily improved. For several consecutive years, their average scores in district-wide exams surpassed those of the top students and ranked first in the entire district. 46 students successively joined the Communist Youth League, and in 1995, the students were recognized as an advanced collective unit in Shanghai. In the 1996 entrance examination, 66.6% of the class advanced to a key high school, achieving a 100% promotion rate.
The work of Huang Lang and others from Jiangxi Medical College on the effects of Zhineng Qigong on celebratory Siddha values was awarded at the International Symposium on Ethnomedicine and Technology of the World Congress for Integrated Chinese and Western Medicine. Professor Li Konghang's experiments with external qi, which improved the tensile strength of paper and increased the strength of low-alloy steel, were selected for the World Excellence and the Encyclopedia of Practical Scientific and Technological Achievements. 2 papers by Guan Qineng Gao and Associate Professor Xian Shusen from the Qineng Academy of the People's Community, as well as works by Yuan Biwen and Zhang Pinghua from the West Qineng Medical University and Tian Yuanming from the Rehabilitation Center, were presented at the 4th International Academic Conference on Medical Qigong and included in the conference proceedings. Li Jiangxi's Zhineng Qigong at the Daking Sixi Petroleum Depot Primary School benefited both teachers and students. In addition, 5 papers including a brief discussion on the integration of education and Qigong by Xu Wenru and Wang Baoling received first prize at the 2nd National Academic Seminar on Qigong Applications in Primary and Secondary Schools. Over the past 10 years, more than 4,000 dedicated and diligently written works by practitioners of Zhineng Qigong have demonstrated tremendous impact in various fields such as medicine, agriculture, industry, and education. These achievements have proven to people that Zhineng Qigong is an advanced science and that the extraordinary techniques of Zhineng Qigong represent advanced scientific technology and productive forces. Through years of challenges and growth, we have closely followed the directives of the central government and responded to the calls of the state. In doing so, we have played a supportive role in building both the material and spiritual civilization of our socialist society. Since the founding of the Zhineng Qigong School, Teacher Pang Ming has always made it a priority to actively seek and accept the leadership of the party and the government, and to consciously participate in the concerns and responsibilities of the party and the nation. In 1990, in support of the Asian Games held in Beijing, Teacher Pang volunteered to give lectures and make donations. Together with the center, a total of 260,000 yuan was contributed. In 1993, during the Table Tennis World Championships in Tianjin, Teacher Pang once again donated all of his prize money to support the event.
In 1998, the Jiangxi, Nanjiang, and Rong basins were struck by a once-in-a-century flood. The Zhineng Qigong community showed sincere solidarity with the people in the disaster-stricken areas, and all teachers and students together donated 108,000 yuan. In December 1994, at the Academic Exchange Conference and Representative Training Session at the Zhineng Qigong Centre, teacher Pang Ming proposed a new approach for the development of Zhineng Qigong and encouraged the leaders of Zhineng Qigong organizations from various provinces and cities to participate in poverty alleviation initiatives. The Zhineng Qigong organization in Shijiazhuang, Hebei, took the lead in poverty alleviation efforts in the impoverished mountainous regions of the city. In November 1996, the Zhineng Qigong Rehabilitation Centre sent teachers to Pingluo, Shaanxi, to assist with poverty alleviation. Zhineng Qigong brought healing to the mountain villages, overcame illnesses, and demonstrated remarkable power, with many miracles occurring. Paralyzed people stood up and walked. People with severely hunched backs straightened up. And people who were deaf and mute began to speak.
After learning Zhineng Qigong, the social atmosphere also changed. Family disputes were resolved. Arguments and conflicts became rare. Superstition and charlatanry disappeared, and gambling as well as theft decreased. It was warmly embraced by the broader farming community and attracted widespread attention. The Zhineng Qigong Centre successively sent more than 160 people to revolutionary old areas and national poverty-stricken counties such as Xingu and Dingnan in Jiangxi, Juxi and Honggan in Hubei, Fengrun, Yan'an and Qinglong in Hebei, as well as Pingluo in Shaanxi, to provide support and teach Qigong to over 40,000 people. More than 250,000 people received Qi regulation and healing treatments. Organized Zhineng Qigong activities for poverty alleviation were launched successively across the country. According to incomplete statistics, at least 19 counties, cities and districts, 54 local Qigong organizations, and over 800 individuals have directly participated in poverty alleviation, held Qigong courses for more than 80,000 people, and provided Qi regulation and healing treatments for over 720,000 people. Poverty alleviation through Zhineng Qigong has opened up a new path to address the lack of medical care and medication in poor mountainous regions, and it is also our honorable and unwavering historical mission as Zhineng practitioners. Teacher Pang attached great importance to the outstanding results achieved by two individuals who came to the center to overcome their drug addiction and made significant progress within a month. To understand the effectiveness of Zhineng Qigong in overcoming addiction, teachers were sent to Lanzhou. Building on the summary of the experimental application of Zhineng Qigong at the Lanzhou Rehabilitation Center, a rehabilitation class was organized. Among the participants, the longest history of drug use was 10 years. The vast majority were between 23 and 28 years old, with 73% being unemployed. Of these, 42% had undergone compulsory rehabilitation more than twice. Faced with these people whose willpower, self-esteem, character and humanity have been destroyed by drugs, whose internal organs are severely damaged, and who, when cravings strike, scream in pain, eat and bite uncontrollably, and even attempt suicide, the challenge is enormous. The difficulties are truly significant. The teachers also remained fearless even in the face of danger. They developed careful plans, overcame obstacles and challenges, and continued to diligently focus on Qigong group field instruction, energy guidance, and therapy. Within 5 to 7 days, those undergoing detoxification experienced a significant improvement in symptoms such as sleep disorders, pain, palpitations, restlessness, runny nose, and nausea. A total of 1,564 participants took part in 2 rounds of the 24 to 28-day rehabilitation program. The withdrawal symptoms were eliminated, which reduced the various pains associated with withdrawal. Many illnesses among the drug users were cured or showed significant improvement. And most importantly, their awareness was strengthened, which gave them the courage and confidence to break away from the past and start a new life. Zhineng Qigong has proven to be exceptionally effective in addressing this global challenge.
Through 10 years of perseverance and dedication, we have established a comprehensive foundation for training, rehabilitation, and scientific research, developed a well-structured management system, and trained tens of thousands of core team members. In the early days of the school's founding in 1988, there were only 23 staff members and just over 300 students. Today, we have more than 600 staff members and can accommodate 60 to over 100 classes of various levels and types at the same time. From March to December, the average number of students on campus is about 4,000, while in peak months, it can reach up to 7,000.
The Rehabilitation Center is a medical facility that uses Zhineng Qigong as its main method for healing and recovery. The school is located in Shikowu, Fengrun County, Lang City, Hebei Province, on the former site of the 6th Air Force Barracks. It mainly admits patients with various illnesses who are still able to participate in Qigong classes and training. The training center serves as an educational unit. The campus is located in Wenquangbao, Duzhuang Township, Funing County, Qinhuangdao City, Hebei Province, on the former site of the 408 Naval Hospital. The faculty and the training departments offer a variety of specialized courses aimed at training Zhineng Qigong practitioners at different levels. The training department organizes consultant and instructor courses, which are responsible for training Zhineng Qigong trainers at various levels. The Qigong practitioner class is organized jointly with the Hebei Provincial Administration of Traditional Chinese Medicine and aims to train talents who are capable of independently conducting rehabilitation courses or opening Qigong clinics.
Faculty Department. The faculty class is specifically designed to train Zhineng Qigong professionals at the university level, both for the center itself and for the broader community at large. The class for extraordinary abilities was established in October 1994 to disseminate the theory and systematic methods of extraordinary intelligence, promote practical applications of extraordinary abilities, and cultivate exceptional talents. The advanced training class has trained 42 leaders from Zhineng Qigong organizations, as well as mid-level managers representing the center from 25 provinces and cities. The program elevates participants to a higher level in 4 key aspects: theoretical understanding, awareness, standardized movements, unified methods, physical and mental well-being, as well as extraordinary abilities.
The Summer Teacher-Student class is a rehabilitation and training program specifically designed for teachers and students who are currently enrolled as students. This summer, the center organized a training for the development of extraordinary intelligence for 14 children aged 8 to 11, as well as for 10 middle school students aged 13 to 18. Each of them completed a 7-day intensive training focused on rapid calculation. The children's class recited 46-digit numbers forwards and backwards. The middle school class reached 54 to 64 digits. Some participants also developed the ability to recognize playing cards and read characters while blindfolded. The distance learning department is responsible for processing and providing books and teaching materials on Zhineng Qigong science, and also oversees distance education at the university level for nearly 10,000 people. The Zhineng Qigong Research Institute plans scientific research projects, coordinates public relations, and provides cooperative guidance. It summarizes research findings and teaches professors. The visiting professor at the institute and senior engineer at the Yellow River Second Hospital, Zhou Yuqing, contracted hepatitis in 1977. After suffering from the illness for more than a decade, practicing and studying Zhineng Qigong helped him overcome the disease and regain his vitality. A significant scientific research project he led successfully filled a crucial gap in our country and was deservedly awarded the first prize for scientific and technological progress. His initial groundbreaking research on the profound effects of Zhineng Qigong external qi on the technical rate of the radioactive isotope 133 attracted the considerable attention of the broader scientific community and many relevant leaders.
Associate Professor Guo Pingxiang from Northeastern University, together with teachers from the Research Institute, conducted experiments on the effects of the Qigong field on gamma rays within the field, as well as experiments on electrical conductivity through the human body. The research showed that the Qi field of Zhineng Qigong has a certain influence and effect on gamma rays. Since the beginning of this year, the staff of the Institute have also conducted remarkable experiments on the transformation of Hunyuan Qi into light, magnetism, electricity, and heat. Hunyuan Qigong sensitized photographic film, magnetized stainless steel spoons, recharge depleted batteries, and increase the temperature in incubators, among other effects. These experiments have achieved groundbreaking progress.
The Central Secretariat serves as the daily administrative body of the center's leadership, coordinating the work of the various departments and ensuring that all tasks within the center are completed. The center's financial work has been managed excellently and received an award from the Hebei Provincial Department of Education. The administrative and main offices are the logistical support units of the center, supporting teaching, rehabilitation, research, and daily life. Over the past 10 years, the center has gradually acquired 50 televisions, 65 cassette recorders, 6 video cameras, 2 editing stations, 13 computers of various models, as well as X-ray machines, electrocardiographs, stadiometers, and audiometers, which essentially meets the center's need. 10 years ago, the Huaxia Center had to rely on military and local guest houses for accommodation. Today, it has enough beds for 7,000 people, is equipped with modern kitchen technology, and has its own fleet of vehicles. There are also shops, a tailor, a bathhouse, a photo studio, a post and telecommunications office, a savings bank, a laundry, a hair salon, a bakery, a tofu factory, and a maintenance team. So that teachers and students are fully provided for in terms of food, accommodation, transportation, and daily necessities. The center has gradually established and refined a system of target responsibility for each position, as well as various management systems, and has compiled these into manuals for management and staff. These have played an enormous role in holistically improving the quality and capabilities of the staff.
In the past 10 years since its founding, school has directly trained more than 310,000 students, including over 2,000 international friends. Today, they are the core force of the Zhineng Qigong practitioners who are spread throughout the country. Through 10 years of dedicated trial and unwavering perseverance, a strong, united, and dynamic leadership team has been built, along with a dedicated and capable staff. The center operates under a system of director responsibility, led by the General Party branch. All members of the leadership team are experienced members of the Communist Party. The director of the center and secretary of the General Party branch is Dr Pang Ming.
The executive deputy director, Shanghai Yuanqin, was formerly the deputy commander of a military unit, and the executive deputy party secretary, Pang Pangfai, was also a deputy commander and is a nationally recognized war hero. The deputy party secretary, Hao Hebang, was formerly a member of the standing committee of the party committee of the city of Shijiazhuang and secretary of the Discipline Inspection Commission. The deputy director, Pang Guangjin, is the director of the Shijiazhuang Workers' Sanatorium. And the deputy director, Hao Yi, was formerly an instructor at a military academy. These colleagues not only possess outstanding character, leadership skills, and management experience, but also have a solid foundation in the theory and practice of intelligent Qigong. Dr Pang Ming is both the head of the party and government leadership team and the creator of Zhineng Qigong. Nevertheless, he never presents himself as a master or spiritual leader above others. Instead, as a scientific associate of the party, he always adheres to the high standards of a member of the Communist Party and treats all teachers and students with equality and camaraderie. At the center, regardless of position or rank, everyone is simply addressed as teacher. Essentially, the center is a privately run educational institution, and Dr Pang could have easily become a millionaire. However, he has stipulated that everything at the center belongs to the collective. All income he earns from teaching and lectures outside the center, as well as all his royalties before 1997, are handed over to the center's financial administration. Every cent is used exclusively for the development of the cause. Waste or luxury is strictly forbidden. He is a person of upright character and integrity. He leads a simple life, holds himself to the highest standards, and enjoys the deep respect of the committee members, all party members, as well as the entire faculty and student body. He has been recognized multiple times as an outstanding party member and exemplary worker. A provisional party cell was established as early as the founding of the school. In 1992, under the leadership of the Party Committee of the Pinghua City Education Committee, a general party cell was established.
Teacher Pang insists that Qigong organizations must strengthen the leadership of the party. He has clearly pointed out that the fundamental task of the party organization is to set the right direction, maintain the correct line, and focus on ideological and political work. The center has always paid close attention to strengthening the organizational and ideological development of the party and consistently adheres to the party's system of 1 lesson and 3 meetings. Each party unit regularly holds weekly group meetings, monthly branch activities, and every 3 months, significant activities for the entire cell, in addition to regular party training sessions. Teacher Pang has personally given more than 10 party lectures, covering topics such as steadfastly maintaining faith in communism and the integration of Zhineng Qigong into the communist ideological system. The recognition of Zhineng Qigong as a pioneering science and as part of the party's cause, as well as other topics. He also invited experts from Tianjin and other universities who specialize in the study of the history of the Marxist-Leninist Party to impart party knowledge to the staff of the center. 8 new party members were admitted. The various organizational activities of the center are well established and have never been interrupted. At the beginning of each semester, a temporary group is formed for the party members among the course participants, weekly life meetings are held, and a summary is conducted at the end of the semester. As a result, the experienced party members who come to the center to study are deeply moved.
In November 1996, the Pinghua News Agency submitted a report to the central authorities highlighting the center as a community which values party work and proactively supports the party.
The center has implemented a highly voluntary and self-motivated, talent-based salary and appointment system. The vast majority of employees are either beneficiaries of Zhineng Qigong, people who are dedicated to Zhineng Qigong, or students who stayed on after attending training courses. They have a deep affection for and a profound understanding of Zhineng Qigong. They all share a common belief. By doing their work well, healing others and doing good for others, they themselves cultivate greater abilities and virtues. Here, they contribute during the 8 working hours, and also devote themselves to service outside of those 8 hours. Here, the joy of helping others and serving with a heartfelt smile comes naturally. It is intentional and it is sincere. Here, among Zhineng Qigong practitioners, it has become a habit to maintain modest standards in daily life and to set high expectations for oneself at work. Here, no one worries about food or clothing. No one argues about compensation, and there isn't even anyone who smokes or drinks alcohol. Teachers at the Rehabilitation Center, such as Liu Jingxiang, Zhao Zuoyan, and Lu Huyang, have put aside their own families and loved ones who need their care. They selflessly and wholeheartedly dedicate themselves to their work all year round. Treating the students as if they were their own family, they actively help them solve their real-life difficulties, and even support students from poor backgrounds with their own personal savings accumulated through great frugality. For those with serious illnesses, they will often organize group energy healing sessions, which sometimes last very late into the night. When students offer them gifts or red envelopes in gratitude, they always politely decline. Even when they face various difficulties within their own families, they bear these burdens in complete silence, without complaint or any regret whatsoever. Director Tian Yuanheng of the Peiying Institute was originally a senior physician of Western internal medicine at a hospital. However, when he realized that Western medicine was powerless against cancer and other serious illnesses, while Zhineng Qigong was producing numerous healing miracles, he resolutely left his well-paid position of over a decade to join the center. He works diligently, immerses himself deeply in his field, compiles materials on Qigong, anatomy and physiology, and writes scientific research papers. Although the work is hard and exhausting, he always feels an inexhaustible source of energy. Li Hongxi, director of the training department, and Xia Xiang, director of the faculty department, approach their work with dedication and a strong sense of responsibility. For many years, they have selflessly dedicated themselves day after day and have been recognized as outstanding party members. Dr. Liu Yumei, from the Training Institute, has saved the lives of critically ill patients on 3 separate occasions through mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Once, in her haste, she even swallowed mucus because she had no time to spit it out. This moved the patients' families to tears. With such a dedicated and committed team, idealistic, ethical, competent, disciplined, and exceptionally capable, the smooth and efficient operation of training, rehabilitation, and research tasks is fully guaranteed.
The center has developed rapidly and achieved remarkable results. It has been recognized multiple times as an outstanding community in the field of private education in the city of Busing, Guangdao, and by the Education Committee of Hebei Province.
In a report to the relevant leaders, Qiu Wei, Vice President and Secretary General of the China Qigong Science Research Association, pointed out that Zhineng Qigong should serve as a model within the Qigong community.
To broaden our horizons and reach for even greater new heights, we must continue to rise. When we look back on the brilliant achievements of the past, we come to realize that the road ahead is filled with great responsibility and the solemn promises that have already been made. The practitioners of Zhineng Qigong hold high the great banner of Deng Xiaoping theory, unite closely around the party central committee with Comrade Jiang Zemin at its core, work together with courage and innovative spirit, and make even greater contributions to the modernization of socialism with Chinese characteristics and to the overall well-being of the people. Let us bring the science of Zhineng Qigong onto the world stage. Let us create a new culture for humanity, and propelled by the wind and breaking through the waves, move forward bravely and resolutely.